My free 3D model painting tool, Primed3D, has just received what may be its biggest public update yet. Not only introducing a suite of completely new painting tools, but now allowing you to paint with buttery smooth precision at more than 10 times the resolution. Primed3D allows you to import any 3D model with or without existing color detail, paint it with a huge range of painting tools, including projecting a full color photo onto it, then process it into color dither lines for CMY printing or as block color for conventional multicolor printing, and then export it as a 3MF ready to import straight into your slicer of choice. There's a lot packed into this new update and I can't wait for you to get stuck in, so let's take a look. When I first released it, Primed3D was primarily intended to enable CMY printing, which is where you can create any colour by layering up layers of cyan, magenta and yellow filament, but with any model, regardless of the slicer you use or the printer you have. But since then, a lot of people have started using it as their go-to painting tool, partly because you can import things like OBJs with a UV map, but also because they prefer the workflow and the painting tools that it offers. One of the drawbacks until now, however, has been painting that is applied within Primed3D has not been as refined or as smooth as what you can achieve when painting directly in your slicer. Well, that's no longer an issue. With a completely rebuilt system under the hood for how painting is applied to the models, it now allows you to apply buttery smooth painting to any part of the model regardless of the geometry. This means you can now paint and even apply photos directly to completely flat surfaces without needing to use the increase resolution tool. In fact, with this new improvement, the increase resolution tool isn't required in Primed3D at all unless you're importing an OBJ with a particularly low face count that also features a UV map. But as you'll see in the new beta build, which I'll give you a sneak peek of later in this video, even then it's no longer required. Previously, on the whole, colours were applied to the model as a single colour per face. This meant areas of models with complex geometry could display fairly detailed painting, but painting on simpler or flatter parts of the same model just resulted in blocky triangles of colour. If you wanted to paint an area with more detail, you needed to use the increase resolution tool. This subdivided the triangles in the geometry by the amount that you set, therefore increasing the resolution that you could paint in. However, this was not only an extra step in the workflow, but subdividing the triangles meant the whole model was a lot larger, which could have a real impact on RAM usage on a model with areas of complexity. Even with the selection applied increase resolution added in a later update, which allows you to increase resolution only in the areas you needed rather than the whole model, it still wasn't a great solution. Now, however, you're able to paint a model regardless of its geometric complexity with smoothness and precision unparalleled by previous versions of Primed3D. Not only does this work on high triangle geometry, it even allows you to paint with the same level of detail on completely flat surfaces. Whilst this change should have very little impact on performance, if at all, especially when compared to the increased resolution tool, if you do find that doing a lot of painting on your model is slowing Primed3D down, you can jump into the settings window where you'll find a new option, Paint Quality. Here you can effectively select how granular or smooth the applied painting will be whilst you paint it. High will give you the smoothest painting, whilst Performance, as the name suggests, will prioritise performance. However, even at the lowest paint quality setting, Performance, it still produces higher quality painting application than was possible in previous versions. This affects painting with all available tools, including brush, sphere and gradient, but also with some new painting tools that we'll look at in a bit. Some of you may have noticed while I was showing you the increased smoothness whilst painting that a change has been made to the brush size. Previously, the brush and sphere tool size was defined by radius, and it only went down to 0.5, meaning the thinnest line you were able to paint was 1 mm thick. Now, however, the brush size has been changed to diameter, and it goes down to 0.1, meaning not only is the applied painting a lot smoother and more natural now, but you can paint with 10 times the precision as was previously possible. The keen-eyed of you may have noticed there is a new option underneath the brush settings, and that is the first of the new paint tool mechanics in this update. Here we have a checkbox called Angle Lock. With that checked, we get a new box that appears in the top left of our 3D view screen. We also get a new slider back over in the toolbar. As we drag this slider, you can see that the line in this box moves, and it displays the angle that we've set, which you can also set just by typing in this box here. Now, Angle Lock is available with both brush and sphere tools, and with it selected, the paintbrush will be locked and only able to move at that angle from the point that you first start clicking, regardless of how you actually move your mouse. So if I start clicking here, it doesn't matter if I move my mouse up and down or left to right, it locks the movement of the brush only to that angle. If I release the mouse button and begin clicking elsewhere, it's still locked to that angle, but relative to its new position. This angle is relative to the camera's perspective, so if we rotate our view to another part of the model, the brush will still be locked to that angle, but relative to this new position. It can be especially useful when combined with preset views, which you can either access here, or by pressing Command on a Mac or Control on Windows and numbers 1 to 6 on your keyboard. But what if you wanted to paint a perfectly straight line all the way around a section of your model, or you wanted to, let's say, paint one half of it a specific colour? That's where this entirely new paint tool, the Band tool, comes in. With the Band tool selected, a box appears running through your model, and we get a range of new sliders and settings in the toolbar. These sliders adjust the thickness, position, rotation, and pitch of the box. Using these sliders, you can place the box wherever you want over your model, and once you're happy with its positioning, you can hit Apply, and it will then paint every part of your model where the box and the model intersected one another. You could use this to quickly paint the base of a model or one half of a model, or for example to apply stripes or cuffs. With these new painting tools, the increased paint quality, and a few more things that I'll be going over in a minute, this is definitely a big Primed3D update. But I thought this would be a good point to quickly tease the new beta Primed3D version 0.9.8.84, which I am unbelievably excited about. This beta is by far the biggest update I've released yet, including adding mirrored painting mode, painting with SVGs, you can convert full spectrum projects, including imported OBJs and GLBs with UV maps, to the newly named filament palette mode. UV maps are now automatically applied to models on import. You can simplify photos for printing in conventional multicolor prints. There's the addition of lighting controls, an advanced simplify colors tool giving you more control over which colors are simplified into which colors, a much easier pan control for laptop users, ePen and tablet compatibility, and a ton more. Whilst Primed3D is and always will be completely free, and these new features, tools and updates will eventually roll out into the public version, the closed beta is always available to my paid Patreon supporters and certain tiers of YouTube channel member. So if you would like early access to new Primed3D features and updates, having a hand in its ongoing development, as well as early access to my videos, some member-exclusive content, access to the 3D Revolution Discord community and more, as well as supporting me continuing to bring you tools and tutorials in the future, head to my Patreon via the link below, or hit join below any of my videos and select an applicable tier. For now, let's continue with this new and exciting public update. As well as the improved paint quality and new tools, this new public update features some big quality of life improvements which I think a lot of you are going to like. To start with, some of you may have noticed with the exports, especially with more complex models or painting, that the file sizes of the exports are getting pretty big. Well, Primed3D now features a compress on export option. Don't worry, this doesn't reduce the quality of the model or the painting. This is effectively lossless compression, just being smarter with how it saves the color data. With this ticked, on export it will run several passes to make the export file as small as possible without losing any detail, and I've seen this take a project which was exporting 1 GB files to less than 100 megabytes. As this is lossless, just spits out a standard 3MF file and doesn't add too much time to export, it's turned on by default. But if you are having issues with it, or if you would prefer a larger file for some reason, you can turn this off in the settings. As well as the size, there's another issue that some of you may have experienced with exports. When you load a Primed3D 3MF file into your slicer, you may have noticed that it occasionally flags the model as having open or non-manifold edges, sometimes with a ridiculously high number. Now often these won't actually affect the print, and providing it looks okay in the slicer after being sliced can generally be ignored. However, sometimes it would cause big issues with the resulting print, rendering it useless. Some slicers have an option to repair edge issues, but this is usually only available in Windows, as it often uses a mesh repair system baked into the operating system. And even if you were on Windows, it usually involves stripping away the color data, which then defeats the object of Primed3D anyway. But I've now added an option in the Primed3D settings menu to auto repair mesh on export. With this selected, on export it will run several passes to detect and then repair problems with the model. This retains all the color data and will work both on Windows and on Mac, and probably on Linux, but I confess I haven't tested that yet. 9 times out of 10, this will result in an export with no flagged issues in the slicer, but on fringe cases there may be 1 or 2 flags, but I've not found these to ever impact the resulting print. The one thing to be aware of with this is the auto repair process can add a significant amount of time to the export process. So as a result, for now at least, this is turned off by default. But if you find that your export features an issue which is problematic once sliced, you can pop back here, turn it on and export again. For those enjoying using Primed3D for printing CMY, there's been a lot of conversation in the comments about using translucent filaments to help the colours blend better. When printing with CMYKW, the black filament has the biggest contrast to the saturated cyan, magenta, yellow and white filaments, and as a result it doesn't blend so well in the dither lines. This generally results in either excessively darkening and desaturating the whole print, or occasional black stripes across the model. The Color Adjustments drop-down, previously called Color Cleaners, now features a new option. When using translucent black PLA, whilst it blends much better with other CMY colours, it blends a little too well and has less of an impact on their colour brightness. By ticking this box, it will increase the amount of black used in colour dithering by 75% to boost the visible impact on colours whilst still blending in with other filaments. I released a video recently going into the use of translucent black filament with dither printing and teased this new option, so if you haven't watched that already, I'll link to that at the end of this video. This update also features a number of bug fixes and general UI improvements to keep your projects running smoothly. You can access Primed3D right now for free at primed3d.com. Just as a little reminder, you can save your Primed3D projects either as a backup or to continue working on later. I'm really excited to see how you find these new tools and features in this update and what you do with them. Just as a reminder, if you'd like to support me continuing to bring you tools like this in the future, you can become a paid supporter on my Patreon linked below, or you can become a channel member. And as well as supporting me, you'll get a bunch of member goodies, including, with certain tiers, access to the Primed3D beta versions, giving you early access to all the new features and improvements weeks or even longer before they reach the public build. How are you finding Primed3D so far? Have you found it useful for any particularly fun projects? I'd love to hear about what you're using it for, as well as if you've got any suggestions or requests for future updates, so let me know in the comments below. I really hope you've enjoyed this video, as well as Primed3D and the rest of my content, and if you have, please do hit a like. A hype is always appreciated, and if you haven't already, subscribe so you don't miss out on my future updates and content. As always, thanks very much everyone, and until next time, happy printing. A massive thank you to my revolutionaries, my Patreon supporters and channel members. You keep this channel and projects like this going, so thank you. If you'd like to join them, head to my Patreon via the link in the description or hit join below any of my videos. I've got lots more fun videos on the way, but for now, why not chuck on another video to learn something new or have some fun. Thanks very much everyone, and until next time, happy printing.